Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, we are going to talk about a real world scenario problem. Imagine you have been given a bunch of data files which are in S3 or GCS or maybe Azure Data Lake. Those files can be CSV, JSON, Parquet, or anything. Now, here's the catch. The client is asking that, hey, can you please create a table in the Snowflake on the fly? Means without opening or without checking those files manually. Suppose there is another scenario that the client is giving you a big file, let's say of like 100 columns, 200 column, or even a 500 columns. And if you need to ingest the data in Snowflake from those files, so first you're going to create a tables, then file format, then stays, and after that you're going to set up your storage integration, and then you are going to run a copy into command. But before performing the copy into command, you have already created a table. So this is going to be a manual task. Now, suppose if client is asking you that create a table on the fly, then the Snowflake has a powerful feature called Infer Schema, which can automatically detect the structure of those files which are already into our stages and that figure out the column names and the data types which help us to create directly tables from that structure, from that schema. So what info schema is and how to use it, what are the kind of steps involved in this info schema, and how we will be creating a table without needing the predefined schema. So let's look at into the section. So this infer schema, as the name suggests, it's going to be a function which automatically detect the structure or semi-structures files. Means like it can also be supported as CSV, JSON, Avro, ORC, and Parquet. So I guess it doesn't accept this XML as of now. So it's used when you have a stage data. That means if I do have my data into my internal or external stages, but one note that this doesn't work on the table stages. So if I'm using a name stages, which can be internal or external stage, and I have given some data files, or basically like client has uploaded some data files, then I'm gonna use that info schema function on that tape on those stage files, and there I can get to know what is the data type, what how many columns I do have, all these things with this info schema. You can see on the right side or in the right top of my window that this is the syntax of the info schema, where you first parameter you mention the location. That means where exactly your files, internal stage, external stage, means the stage name. Second is the file format, which is mandatory, so that which kind of a file is there or which kind of a file you have already staged, and particularly that file format you're going to use. Next, we have the files. Suppose if there are 100 files and you only and only wanted to scan 5 files, 10 files, or a 1 file, 2 file, then you're going to use that files parameter and going to give a particular file name. Next case we have is the ignore case equal to true or false. That means if I have one file which is having some columns, let's suppose some every column is into my some are in camel cases, some are in small cases, but I do not want all those into the small case or camel cases. I want those columns to be case insensitive, means every column needs to be into my capital. So then I will be using ignore case equal to true. By default, it's going to be false. That means whatever the column name is there in my files, either it is just a camel case or a small case or a capital case, it is going to be like that only. Next we have is the max file count. So again, if you have hundreds of file and you wanted to count only 10 or 20, that you can mention over here. Last, max records per file. Now this is again going to be very beneficial. Suppose I have 1 millions of record in my CSV or JSON file, and I know that there is no point of scanning all the 1 million record by that info schema. So I can mention probably like, okay, 2000 records or 3000 record or even 10,000 records can scan it, and based on that it can detect the schema. However, this can basically, not gonna give you a best performance or gonna give little bit of discrepancy, because just imagine that out of the 10,000 line, there is one more column or there is one extra column. So you can use as per your record, but these are the main important parameters which we are going to see in the action. So how does it work? The step by step. First, you, me, client, XYZ are going to stage our data. We can upload any of the Parquet, JSON or CSV file in our external stage. So like I'm going to use my external stage, which I have already used to load the data from AWS S3. I have already uploaded one Parquet file, but you can do the same thing. Okay, you can download the Parquet file from the Google, or not only just Parquet, JSON, CSV, anything, and then you can just stage it. So it's going to be very simple, and we have already discussed in our previous lectures. Next, we will be running the infer schema function with this syntax. So that means it is going to check how many columns we have, it is going to, we are going to provide that where exactly the stage location, the file format, files, and everything we're going to provide. Then we're going to run this. It's going to give us the output. We're going to review it, like the name, data type, and how many nulls column are there. Everything is going to give it to us. And after that, we are going to use a create table using template. So far you have created a table, create table as, create table like normal, just like we create table ID and all, see as we have done it. So in this video, we will be also looking at that how to create table using template. So let's just jump into the Snowflake now. I am gonna show it to you every step by step. Okay, now I do have already these database and schema. I have created this file format, which is the type Parquet. Okay, so I'm gonna run this create or replace file format one more time and just look at it over here. My file format is done. Now, I have created a storage integration. This was already done, or basically, we have already seen it when we have loaded or when we have performed these activities while loading the data from AWS S3 to Snowflake. I guess this is part 14 or 15. I'm going to add the link of this part also in case if you want a detailed video on how to set up the storage integration. Once we have done that, this storage integration, after that, you're going to describe it and make sure you are going to give this IAM user AR and role AR and you're passing it into the trust relationship in the AWS IAM side. After that, I'm going to create one external stage. That external stage is going to refer this is storage integration. This is AWS Ascent, which I have created in my previous step. And here I'm passing this URL, which is my bucket URL. So this user data one.parquet file I have manually uploaded on AWS S3, but this probably in your case, in your project, maybe client is going to do it, or client is going to execute some background process, maybe some Python or some Lambda. So they are going to dump those files into that AWS S3 bucket. So here to create this external stage, we are going to first pass this storage indication. And why we are doing it? So that we do not have to manually or explicitly type our those keys. So we have access and secret access keys. If I'm not going to use the storage indication, then during the copy into command, I would be required to pass those access keys. Now, if I'm going to run this list command and then look at it, so when I'm going to check it, my external stage, and there I can see this is one file I do have, user data one.parquet. So if you're going to run it on select star from this Parquet file, then it is going to show you some data. Okay, I should have just execute some limit. So this is having 1000 record, and you can see that how many columns we can see over here. This is birthday, CC, comments, country, email, ID, and all. Now, one option is to load this data is that we create a table at the runtime. So create table, and we can probably say the Parquet load data. And after that, we can say birth date as date, CC as number, comment as number, or maybe varchar, country as varchar. Like that, you're going to create the tables. with the column names and their respective data type. But we are not going to do it over here. Why? Because we will be understanding how this info schema is, or how this info schema works, and how we are going to create a table at the runtime. So for this, you have this info schema, which is a table function. So now, if you will focus on it, let's go one by one. So here, the first thing is info schema. Let's go back to here. Look at the syntax. You pass this info schema function. Okay, so when we have opened it, it's already opened here. Now look at it. So the first thing is location. And this location is nothing but my stage. And this was my external stage in my previous part. After that, the file format. This file format also I have created here in the very first step part type. Then, so location is done, file format is done. Okay, after that we do have the files. The reason why I'm not using this files parameter because I only have one file in my stage. But you can simply type that in case if you want to use it files, and then you can give a file name. So for us, it's like user data one.parquet. Similarly, you can pass it if it is required. All right, so I'm not going to use it for this particular exercise. Now, next we have this ignore case equal to true and false. Now, if I'm going to give this true, that means what I told you, that all the columns in the output will be the case insensitive. So one, I'm going to use it true, and another time I will be running it as a ignore case equal to false. Look at this birth date, comments, every column is into the small case, right? So if I'm going to run it, so this infer schema, I'm going to write select star from table because it's a table function. So you're going to use table, and after that, all this particular syntax, and then you're going to execute it. Once you have executed this query, then in your output, you will be seeing the column name, which is every column name is in the capital letters. And here, this is your type, which is text, and this is nullable. So as we have clearly mentioned that this gonna be a nullable column. Now this expression, okay, first look at this. When we have given ignore case equal to true, this expression is now going to use one function, which is get ignore case. But if I run this false, now everything will be changed. You won't be seeing this expression get ignore case. Also, the column name will be a particularly those into the small cases, like we were getting into this query select star from AWS EXTL. I hope it makes sense that what is the significance of this ignore case. And in the expression also, we are only getting $1. We are not getting get this one. In the last query, we were getting get ignore case, but no, we can simply see it that there is no get ignore case when you are going to use ignore case equal to false. This is the file name. Suppose if you have hundreds of files, then you will be seeing distinct file. But right now it's a one distinct value coming with 13. That means we have 13 columns in it. And this order ID is going to tell you the column orders. So first is registration, ID, first name, like that. So now we have all the column name. We have the data type. Okay. But the next thing is I need to copy this data. Okay, but for before that I will be creating a table. So this is where you will be running a command create table using template. Now focus on one by one. So this one part we have covered. Okay, so create or replace table, the table name. Okay, you might have created already a C task. The C task means create table name is, let's say, user as, and then we have performed some command like select star from this one. Okay, select star like that. Okay, maybe this syntax is wrong. Select star from this, so it's whatever the column name we do have in this query, it's gonna create all those columns in this user table. But right now what we are doing with the template, that means whatever the template is executed or is basically is returned by this infer schema, this is going to use the column name and the type, and then going to create a user data with all these columns and their respective data type. Okay, so for this first 41 and 42 line are particular syntax. You do not need to remember. It's going to be very simple. Okay, it's a syntax only. You don't need to like remember. You can even check it on Google in case you stop. But the next thing is from here to here, this part from table, this is also we have executed in our previous step. So I'm going to utilizing the same function output. So I have to write it one more time, but this time there is one thing which you need to mention. I'm not writing select star from, I'm writing select array egg object construct. So this is going to construct and going to give an array like from this column output and gonna create the table. So now if I'm going to run it, create or replace table user data using template, but with this select array egg and object construct, now if you will look at it, show tables, then I should have one table like user data. And yes, I do have this user data, which you can see into this table and all. Okay, now once this table is done, after that you will be running a copy into command to load the data from your external stage. Okay, so if I do like just copy into user data from this, but I'm passing this file format so that like it should know that we are trying to insert the Parquet data. But if I do it, then I'll get some error. Yep, it was expected. Okay, Parquet file can produce one or only one column type variant object or array, load data into separate column using by the match column copy option or copy with the transformation. Because we have used ignore case equal to true, and then this is why I'm gonna write match by column name case insensitive. And when I'm going to run this copy into command, now your data will be loaded into your table. We can see this 1000 it got passed, 1000 it got loaded, and now if I'm going to write select star from user data, you will be seeing all your tables over here, all your data over here. And this is the same order: registration DTM, ID, first name, last name, email, gender, IP address, country, and all these comments. So that's how you can create your table at the runtime into the Snowflake. If you have any questions related to this info schema, please ping into the comment, or you can simply like drop me an email. Okay, thank you for watching. In the next video, we will be discussing about other topic, other advanced topic, maybe some dynamic table or directory table. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.